So, Jeff, you and I had this crazy idea that some people might be thinking about what's going on in the real estate market. Here we are, it's August 2023. It's clearly a shifting marketplace, right? So you specialize in East Contra Costa County, California, right? So what's going on out there right now?
Well, obviously with interest rates, we're seeing a little slowdown in the market. Inventory is finally starting to build a little bit. I think it's an opportunity for a buyer to go buy something and not have as much competition on a home.
Yeah, you're not seeing kind of that multiple offer craziness that you were before.
It's a little bit all over the board. Some of the really hot properties are still getting multiple bids, but on average, there's 1 or 2 bids on each property. A lot of properties don't have offers, and you're able to go in and negotiate a price down, negotiate closing costs. It's kind of a relief for a buyer to be able to negotiate.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you remember it being able to be in this kind of a space?
Yeah, it's been many years.
Yeah.
I don't remember, maybe 2010.
Wow. So barely after the meltdown.
Yeah.
And I know you represent like a lot of investors that come in and buy and fix, and you've done a good job. You obviously represent sellers and first-time home buyers, but with the investors too. Are you finding that there's still a lot of investor activity, or has that started to slow down a little bit?
It's started to slow down as far as investment for rentals. I'm seeing still a lot of investors come out doing flips, buying distressed properties, buying properties that need major rehab, and putting them back on the market. And that market still seems to be strong.
So what are you seeing then when sellers ask you to come list their house or talk to them about listing? What are they doing? Are they going out of the state? What are they?
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of people moving out of state. You're seeing people hitting retirement age. I'd say that's a leading source of most of the sellers. You're not seeing a lot of people casually move around town for a bigger house because the difference in interest rates.
Right.
They're not going to lose that 3-4% interest rate to go to a 7% rate.
Yeah.
So you're seeing mostly, I'm getting calls from people who want to retire, are moving out of the state, leaving California.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because we were talking about this earlier last week, and last year you closed 62 transactions. Okay, and this year you're pretty much on pace for that or more.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Same pace, kind of a different clientele.
What's different about it this year?
For me, I'm always just trying to work, where's the market? I'm always trying to adjust to what's going on. And for me right now, I've done more flips this year with investors buying distressed properties. The low end seems to be selling very quickly still, and it's a strong market.
So the first-time buyers are also really active.
First-time buyers are able to get into something without a lot of competition.
Let's talk about that, because that's obviously a big passion for both of us, is getting first-timers into houses. So it's obviously nerve-wracking. They look at the payment difference between maybe even if they had maybe some of them started shopping in 2020, 2021, they got fatigued because of all the offers. Now they're back, and it's instead of their payments 30-40% more in some cases. What do you say to those people? Is it a good time for them to buy still?
Well, it's a good time for them. It's a good time for them in the sense that they're not competing with 2 or 3 buyers. They're not fighting over a house. They're getting price reductions. They're getting closing costs. And if they can afford to buy something now and hang on to it until rates get better, they're probably looking at having some strong equity in a very short period of time.
Yeah. Well, I did a post. I do a California market report, and I did a post about what's going on in the cycle, and don't miss the one about where rates are going, because that one's coming up. But as you say, basically buy now, refi later, right?
That's right.
And because you've been at it 32 years, and we are about, as high as you've ever seen rates right now, right?
Yeah.
7 to 7, almost 8%.
And when I got in the early 91, the rates were about 7% then, 7-8% then. Of course, prices were much lower.
Incredibly lower.
So this is about as high as I've seen relative to the prices.
Yeah. And what do you think about, you hear people say, well, we're going to have a big price adjustment. What is your take on that in terms of East County real estate specifically? That's where do you see that as a reality?
You mean as far as prices
coming
dropping?
down? Yeah.
Well, of course, it depends on what the Fed does with the interest rates. But we are seeing drops. It seems like we're getting drops, and the market then levels out, and everyone gets back to business, and things are rocking. And then we hear, more negative news about rates going up, and things start to get a little rough for a little while. It seems like each time it settles. So it just depends how far they keep pushing this.
Yeah.
And
how much of that though is also that sellers are still kind of trying to come to terms with what's reality, because it seems like the sellers still are trying to push these higher values and keep trying to push it up from where it has been, and it just isn't real anymore.
It's not there. It's the agent's role to really inform them and educate your client as to where the market is. I guess you could say it's more of a balanced market. The buyers have a fair shake.
Sellers have
a hot market always means the houses are selling in a minute, but this is the buyer's turn to get out there and buy property and not have to fight over it and sell their soul to get a home. It's a good market. It just depends which side of the coin you're on.
Yeah. Well, and then kind of talking about that, you've done a really good job of navigating lots of markets. You've been through, multiple recessions. In fact, you kind of started right in the middle of a big recession, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because that would have been right around when that first REO boom. Probably about when I met your dad, I would think. Yeah.
Yep.
And who also, by the way, is a famous East County real estate broker. So, Jeff, now, you obviously have seen lots of different markets. Now you're in this market. What are you kind of doing differently now to accommodate the market changes and stay successful?
Yeah, it's a challenging market, and you've got to really get back to basics. I'm reaching out to more people. I realize as a realtor, I've always taught when you get slow, you need to start contacting more people, reach out to more people consistently, and I'm getting back to basics. I'm calling more people each day. I'm emailing more clients. I'm going to knock on doors and talk to more clients. I'm setting up, like with your company, a first-time buyer seminar. Yeah. So I'm just getting back to talking to more people and being more consistent with my habits. And you can fight through a market with you got to raise your activity level. You can work through anything.
Yeah, I'm curious because you also have, of course, you're the broker of your office. You have other agents. You probably have agents that have never really experienced a market like this before. So are you telling them to do the same things that you just described?
Yeah,
pretty much?
Basically. It's all reaching out to people consistently, and they've got to understand that it's not them. It's the market. It's everywhere. Everyone's struggling, and they've just got to go attack it, and the cream will rise to the top.
I like it.